You'd think all this water probably came from a heavy rain, but in many South Shore communities, it was water from the bays overflowing bulkheads and backing up through storm drains.
I said I want to live on the water, not in the water.
We had to talk to Linda Fainer on the phone across the street from her Seaford home. That's because we couldn't safely get there. Miami Street was flooded with 3 feet of water.
I'd like to say it's crazy, but it's not. This is normal. This happens on a regular basis.
Fainer says the street constantly floods during high tides, and with the recent exceptionally high tides, it's been unbearable. I was just barely able to get to her neighbor's house. Angelo Maltese worries what would happen if there was an emergency in the block.
What if somebody gets sick? Is the ambulance come down here? Will they come down here to pick us up?
The problem, he says, poor sewer planning and a road that needs to be raised. The situation is similar in lots of other South Shore communities. Bay Park saw flooding, so did Island Park. Some there even resorting to kayaks to get around. In Massapequa, they were trying to dry out as well, but at least the mail was finally able to get through.
We enjoy being on the water, but this is getting a little out of hand now.
Some neighbors tell me even with all this inconvenience, in the end, believe it or not, they say it's not that bad.
It's not fun, but since we've been here for 15 years, we've learned how to negotiate it, how to make do.
But back in Seaford, folks on Miami Street hope Hempstead town officials take notice and try to help out.
We can't live like this. I mean, this is horrible.
In Seaford, Andrew Enger, News 12, Long Island. Hempstead Village police officer Louis Arcella found himself in handcuffs today. The 16-year veteran cop arrested on sexual assault, endangering the welfare of a child, and official misconduct charges. Nassau's acting DA Madeline Singa says the assault happened in June in the victim's car here in the parking lot of this Hempstead restaurant while her 10-year-old child was in the back seat.
I started talking to her, opened the door, got in, sat down, and then grabbed her breast and grabbed her in her thigh.
Singa says Arcella was off duty and wearing his badge at the time. Waitress Connie Rodriguez says she remembers that summer evening well.
He was drunk, a little bit drunk, and then they went talking and he tried to touch her boobs.
Acting District Attorney Madeline Singas is in the middle of a heated election with her Republican rival, so Arcella's attorney questioned the timing of this arrest, considering the alleged crime happened in June.
4 days before an election. This is an exploitation of a police officer who did not commit a crime.
The only person who exploited anyone in this case is that police officer when he exploited this woman in front of her children.
However, Arcella's attorney says the victim in this case has changed her story of what has happened and that his client never was wearing his badge or assaulted the woman. The Hempstead Village PBA tells News 12 in a statement, "We are confident that the officer will be vindicated once all of the facts are presented in court." Still, the news has stunned many in this community.
Nowadays, you don't really know exactly who to trust.
In Hempstead, Andrew Enger, News 12, Long Island.
I'm standing on a mini mountain of snow right now. We're in Comac, and the plows have really done their work at parking lots like this one. We've seen plows and salt trucks head up and down Jericho Turnpike, cleaning up the main roads and cleaning up parking lots at local businesses like at this shopping center. Now, you can probably make out the winds are still quite strong, so on certain stretches of roads that have been plowed, we're seeing a new coating of snow, a new dusting of snow because of all the snow that's blowing about. For the most part, people seem to have been heeding the advice of county officials, which is to stay home so that plows can be on the roads doing their job. We're in Comac. I'm Jessica Borg, News 12, Long Island.
The picturesque Peconic Bay shows the calm before the storm, but over at the Jamesport Fire Department, officials are gearing up. Chief John Andrzejak says they're more worried about flooding than snow.
Flooding is a challenge for us. It was a big challenge during Sandy. We were hit very hard in Jamesport. Some of the storm surge came up almost a mile into our district.
This storm, officials are expecting tides 4 feet above normal. They're ready to put this new high water rescue truck to use. It can go into 4 feet of water to make emergency rescues. They're also using these FEMA flood hazard maps to plan and pinpoint problem areas.
By using this map, we can determine what streets will be most at risk and how we're going to respond to those.
And here in Riverhead, these parking lots that are right alongside the Peconic River near Main Street are prone to flooding. The town supervisor says these parking lots will likely be closed during the storm.
I'm not expecting any major crisis, but we will probably go in and put some notifications on the cars in the evening that are parking down there, that they should go to high ground so that we don't have anybody lose a vehicle.
Over in Southold, resident John Besh is also concerned the waves from the Long Island Sound are going to eat away at his beloved Kenny's Beach.
When the water rolls in, it's not a problem. When it comes in with waves, it takes the beach with it.
Town Supervisor Scott Russell says water from the Sound and Peconic Bay will dump into the streets as well.
Southold has a lot of old winding roads, a lot of dips in the roads, aging infrastructure, stormwater drainage that might not be there. That presents some very unsafe conditions.
I guess this will be, the first storm of the winter that we'll have to bear. I don't think it'll be the last.
I'm Jackie Lucas, News 12 Long Island.
I wish I were famous.
Karen Sproul of Port Jefferson has 3 boys. She says she knew her middle son Ryan was different, but never suspected autism.
My family, I think, started to notice things that maybe I didn't realize as a parent you don't see in your own child.
Ryan was diagnosed at 4 years old.
There's always a piece of me as a mother that wished that we caught it when he was 2.
And doctors say that is the key.
What we know is that if we get an early diagnosis, that we can provide treatments that will really help these kids do better. Early intervention is the key to helping these children.
The Centers for Disease Control say about 1 in 68 children are diagnosed with autism, and boys are 5 times more likely to have autism than girls. The hope is more awareness will result in earlier detection.
And Ryan met all his milestones. He walked when he was supposed to walk, he talked when he was supposed to talk, so it was hard to pick out.
There are several signs parents should look for around a child's first birthday. Difficulty with sleeping and disinterest in their surroundings may be a red flag.
If they're not showing any interest, then it's something that may be concerning.
Another telltale sign may be if your child's hyper-focused on a particular subject or object.
Karen says she hopes talking about autism will erase the stigma and encourage parents to seek out help.
Once you know your child has autism, you can move forward, you can plan, you can treat, you can improve. The most important thing is that they get what they need, because that makes the difference.
Danielle Campbell, News 12, Long Island.
Time was running out for Floral Park's Mark Bruni.
I'm on North Shore's kidney transplant list since 2013.
In that time, he spent 3 days a week for 5 hours at a sitting on a kidney dialysis machine, which he says is exhausting work.
It's my job now, that's how I sustain life.
Kidney failure patients usually have about 5 years to find a matching donor, but donor lists here in New York State, they can be as long as 7 years. Do the math. So Mark, he turned to the internet. He went to Facebook looking for help, created a group to tell his story, and one day a total stranger saw his page and felt a higher calling.
I'll never forget, I looked up in the air and I said, Lord, if this is from you, I'm going to get tested, and if I'm a good match, I'll get my kidney.
Jimmy Malloy says he contacted Mark out of the blue, got tested, and found out he was a perfect match.
Life was going to change, and it's all because of you.
2 families are meeting, getting to know each other, planning for, now, a lifetime of friendship and memories. Mark's wife was overwhelmed.
To think that he has a new beginning because of a perfect stranger seeing something on Facebook is a gift.
Jimmy's pastor says he's not surprised God helped connect these 2 men through, of all things, social media.
I think we often want to have God in a box, but God works outside the box a lot.
You could say Facebook has saved your life.
Well, many ways, yes, An angel coming along, saved my life as well.
I feel I'm just as happy as he is. I am very excited for him, and I wish we could do it tomorrow.
In Wisconsin, Andrew Enger, News 12, Long Island.